Hey folks, I'm Mike. Do you hate ads? I hate ads. You know what I like? Patreon.com/Inkdependence. It keeps this blog ad-free. Hello and welcome to an Inkdependence.com brief video review and water drop test. This time we have Pelikan 4001. See regular Pelikan line. This is brilliant black. Comes in a box that looks like this. I think this ink drop thing is very nice over here on the corner actually. It's kind of a small-ish bottle, not super huge. Let's see, does it have a size on it? Maybe. Ah, there it is, 2 ounces. So 62 milliliters, give or take. Comes in a little bottle, looks like this. It's a fine bottle. I haven't really had any problems. I thought it was going to be a little bit shallow, but I've just gotten my very first Pelikan pen. This is an M800, so it's a pretty big pen, and yeah, no problem right now. And I think you can actually, when it gets low, you can set it on the side like this, that kind of thing. So you should be able to get ink in there in your pen all the time, hopefully. So, not bad. Let's open it up. I'll give you a brief look inside. There you go. This is, of course, a black ink, so I got to compare it against a bunch of other black inks. It's definitely not the darkest black I've used. It's kind of middle of the road, sort of in all ways, I think. So this is a perfectly competent black. I think it's a little bit on the dry side, if anything. As I note here, it's a little bit dry. And that's because I was using it in this pen, which is a Monteverde Impressa. It's got a medium nib, pretty typical, you know, Monteverde nib. No problems with it. It works just fine. Just this ink is a little bit on the dry side. And I mentioned that to somebody and said, oh, well, you've got to tame the Pelikan nibs, which are crazy wet. So until I got this Pelikan, I actually had no idea. And actually, still, I don't have much of an idea because I've only put the Pelikan black in here. But I can tell you that it flows just fine. I haven't had any problems. It hasn't dried up on me or anything like that. I've had a little bit of a problem with it drying up in the Impressa. If I just leave it capped on my desk for more than a few days, it does tend to dry up in the nib, and you have to my trick is to just dip it in a little bit of water or just run it under the sink very briefly, just into the tip, and that'll loosen it up just fine. But I have had a little bit of a problem with that, and it doesn't write, it's not as free-flowing as I would perhaps wish. So if you have a pen that's out of control wet, this might be a good ink for that. Let's see. What next? So here's a couple of writing samples that I've done with each of those pens. And I'll give it another squiggle or two here just for funsies. This top bit here is that it feels a little bit dry on the nib, and it's not great. I mean, it's fine. It starts up pretty well. But as you can see, there are a few places where it just kind of dried up as I wrote and didn't really keep up. So like the T and a couple other places where it just kind of, I don't know, it just feels a little bit dry. If you ever used a dry nib or a dry ink, you know kind of what I mean. With the Pelikan, this of course has that beautiful two-tone silver and gold nib. It's a fine nib, but I found that this Pelikan fine is not particularly fine. But no problems at all. Flows just fine in this nib. So I'm guessing this is a pretty free-flowing nib. But amazing pen. Love it a lot. All right. Let's see. So you can compare it to a whole bunch of other black inks. It turns out I had a bunch of black things inked up. I've just gotten this Noodler's Old Manhattan. Let me see if I can grab the bottle from where I am here. And here we go. There we go. And this is, oh, there we go. This is a special one for the Fountain Pen Hospital, and this was donated to me along with that Pelikan pen, believe it or not, by a fantastic reader. Thank you very much. And so I've been messing with that. I think the Brilliant Black is not quite as dark as Old Manhattan, but I've got Old Manhattan in this pen, which is a Stipula Splash, and it's not behaving particularly well, so I don't really know yet. Kiwaguro is, of course, that's my favorite black. I really like that black a lot. You'll see it has a bit of a matte shine to it. There we go. When it dries, you get this matte effect, which is very cool. When it's wet, you don't really get that so much. Here, I'll give it a little squiggle. There we go. It actually goes down darker, I think, than it ends up being. It dries kind of... and it almost dried quickly enough that I couldn't pick it up. But anyway, that's my favorite black. If you're looking for an awesome black, Kiwaguro is awesome. It's a Sailor, and it's pigmented. But I've had it in this Bexley Phoenix, which I really ought to review sometime very soon. I've had it in here for quite a long time. You see there's no staining or anything like that. It's no problem to clean out. Great ink all around. And underneath that, Faber-Castell's Midnight Blue, which I've only just gotten, and I've used it in a couple of pens, and I like it a lot. It's a very, very dark blue. But we're here to look at Brilliant Black, and Brilliant Black actually looks okay. I think it's pretty good in the squiggle. In the swatch up here, you can see it sort of fades out at the edges. It's got a tiny bit of sheen, but I've never seen that with a pen, so, and I don't know, you'd have to have a real gusher of a pen to bring that out on any kind of like normal paper. I don't even, it would probably just bleed through the paper before that. It doesn't tend to bleed too much. I'll show you that here in a little bit. Come on, focus. There we go. Yeah. I'll get some things out of the way. I'm running out of space. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so let's do a little bit of a water test here. Let me suck up some water into my syringe. And there we go. Get some other words. All right, cool. Alrighty. It's not doing too badly, actually. I don't know what to expect from this ink. This is, I think, the first of the regular Pelikan line that I've actually used. I've used a few of the Edelstein line. Maybe you're familiar with those, but none from the regular line, so this is a bit of a first. All right, let's mop that up. Let's see what we get. Hey, not bad, actually. Look at that. You can actually almost read all the stuff that was on there. But yeah, no, there's definitely enough left to tell what was there before. Make sure I get it all. Yeah, there we go. Got it. So a lot of it came up, but also there's still quite a bit left. So good. It's I'm going to give this kind of a thumbs up on water resistance. Good job, Pelikan. So it's a little bit dry. It feels a little bit odd on the nib, I think, but it's not bad at all as far as a black ink goes. Let's look at this right quick. Using my iPad today and not my phone, so it's taking a little bit of adjustment. And you can see there on the left-hand side how it got this way. But this is kind of a typical black ink, I think. A lot of them tend to look this way. You end up with like this kind of greenish undertone here, and then like the grays and blacks up at the top with streaks going up. And so, yeah, a lot of it remained down at the bottom. So that sort of tells us what we should expect. So good job, Pelikan. As far as writing samples on some different papers, here it is on Tomoe River. There it is there at the bottom. Come on now. My iPad is not as quick at focusing as the iPhone is. It looks all right. You see it's a little bit thin. Has a little bit of sheen actually on here, but this is Tomoe River, so I'm not shocked. You're going to get that sheen from just about any ink. If it's possible that it will sheen on that paper. And here it is on regular old Staples copy paper. This is my typical test paper, of course. And you can see that there is some feathering a little bit. Not too much. A little bit of spread, maybe. That Pelikan has a pretty wet nib, it seems, and so I'm not super shocked by that. On the other side, not bad at all. I mean, you see a few places in here where you get a little bit, well, excuse me, little spots of bleed, had a little bit of hiccup there, but not too bad. And then with the Impressa's nib, excuse me, hiccups. With the Impressa's nib, no real problem at all. So it's not bad. It's not perfect. But it's not bad at all. Seems to work okay on copy paper. So there you go. So like I said, I think this is pretty well sort of a run-of-the-mill kind of black. Like it's average in pretty much every way. It's not going to be exceptional. The cost is not high, I don't believe. I forget what it goes for, but it's not terribly high, especially not for, you know, a 2-ounce bottle like this. Seems like a good price. Seems like good ink, although it's not going to make my favorites list. And maybe we'll see it in a giveaway here in a while. We'll see how it goes. But anyway, this has been Pelikan 4001. I bought this one. It wasn't a gift or anything like that. So, you know, there you go. If you'd like to get some of this Pelikan Brilliant Black, then check it out at your favorite retailers. Mine are Anderson Pens, of course. I love those guys. And I believe they sell this stuff. And if they don't, I'll put a little note down at the bottom. But I think they kind of do. So there you go. Or wherever, you know, Pelikan inks are sold. There are all kinds of places for those. I actually got this from my friend Tom Bailey, who's in the Triangle Pen Club. He's a good dude and has become a Pelikan dealer. I secretly suspect, too, because he just loves Pelikans. So why not sell them, right? So there you go. That's it. One more thing before I forget, and that is that we YouTubers really like to get comments on videos, and we also like when you hit that like button or hit the subscribe button. That helps us out, and it makes YouTube, I don't know, treat us like real boys. So if you like this video, hit the like button. If you want to see more videos like this, hit the subscribe button. That's it. Peace out.